Hey, welcome back to another episode of the Unturned podcast. I'm your host, Cookie Charles, and we're joined once again by Stats Wally,
Yeah.
Leono,
Yeah.
and we're joined by a special guest today, Wesley.
Hello.
And if anybody's wondering where Trident is, like usual, I think this is the
He's
10th time that
sleeping.
this happened. Bro is overslept, 100%.
He needs his rest, okay?
And I don't know what he's doing. So I'm pretty sure he's sleeping, thinking about, I don't know, chips or something. So don't worry about him. He's just not gonna show up. But Wesley, I've actually been anticipating this episode for a long time. I wanted to ask you questions ever since I saw the first Unturned event that you did, which was was it last year? How long ago was that actually?
That was January of this year. It was the Russia one, yeah.
That's so long ago. I felt like last year.
Yeah, it's getting there.
Yeah, that is a long time ago. I guess before we get into anything of the stuff that you're doing currently, I want to ask a bit of questions about the past with you.
Mhm.
Because you kind of just appeared on the scene out of nowhere and started doing events, and I was just like, who is this guy? Where does he come from? And why is he doing this? So, can you explain a little bit more about how you came to the scene, when you came to the scene?
For sure. Yeah. So what a lot of people don't know is I've been streaming on Twitch for almost 7 years. Just off and on, kind of whatever games I wanted. I called variety streamer or whatever, but the main game was Unturned. It was always Unturned. If you guys are familiar with Unturned on Twitch, it will rarely get above 15 to 20 viewers. So I would be streaming it 5-6 years ago, and I would always be at the very top. And those were just the good old days because we would have people, just random people join from Twitch. They would join the stream, be like, hey, can I play with you? And I'm like, yeah, let's do it. And we would just coincidentally, not even intending to, we would just end up zerging on random servers, and we'd have groups of 10 to, I think 13 was the biggest we ever had, which was just random people all playing together. And, you know, I kind of just did that off and on for a long time until, like everyone, I got bored of Unturned and took a big break from that. And I've just kind of consistently, inconsistently been streaming on Twitch. You know, I've taken like a year break just because of life. But I've just been around on Twitch for a while, and then I would host, I'd just put up Unturned servers once in a while. And then I just thought of why not, you know, do an actual event or try to do something more organized, I guess.
I see. So when you started playing was like, what year? Do you know the year?
It was the first game I ever got on Steam, and my Steam account just hit 7 years. Like I got the 7-year badge. So
Goddamn. So that
whatever
is
year that
a
was.
decent while
Wow.
ago.
Yeah.
I think I was right after 3.0 came out because I never played 2.0.
Okay, so it's like 2014, 2015 kind of era. Okay.
Yeah. Oh wow, my Steam profile is 8 years of service. So that is, what year is that? That's 2015.
2015. All right, that's pretty nice. So, what actually made you go into doing events for Unturned? Because I think that's a very niche kind of thing. I mean, just a little bit of context. There's only been like 2 major people that made events back in the day, which was the original one, I believe, was P9. There could be an older one that I know, but P9 made his event back in, I believe, 2017. His like esports event that he hosted with a bunch of YouTubers and some actual Unturned players. And then there was another event server which was hosted by Gloxia, which was the Unturned Pro League. And then you came into the scene right after, about I think a year after that. So, I mean, there's a very limited amount of people that have actually run events for this game, to my knowledge. And what I'm wondering is, what inspired you to actually make Unturned events? Because it's like not really something that anybody just goes ahead and does.
Yeah, it's definitely like a niche community, which I'm glad I've started because it's just grown so much. So I would just, like I said, I'd put up just, you know, random Unturned servers. And December of 2022, if you guys remember when A6 Polaris dropped, that map was hype. I had a server up on it. I think my max players was like 48 or something. It was full the entire weekend. I was actually going to be going on a trip to Colombia like the next day, like a 2-week-long trip. So I had the time off from work already. I said, all I'm doing is playing A6 Polaris, and it dropped. And I think I put in like 30 hours in like 3 days, or like 34 hours in 3 days on Polaris. Just had a great time. And obviously then I go on my trip, and while I'm on my trip, I'm just like thinking about Unturned. I'm like, damn, that was so much fun. But in the past, whenever I put up a server, it's fun for, if you're lucky, a weekend. If you're really lucky, a week, and then everyone loses interest. People dominate the wipe. Like people just start joining, the randos stop joining. It's just a vicious cycle that always repeat itself, and we'd always have to wipe servers. And people are like, why'd you wipe so early? You guys know how it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it happens every map.
Yeah, every server that's ever
I feel like
been successful.
I feel like Polaris kind of had that in mind while making, so it's a lot less of an issue.
Yeah, Polaris did well. It was definitely one of the maps that I think could last a little bit longer, especially with all the quest lines. But so I'm like on my trip in Colombia, and I'm like, what could I do to just like keep that fun going? Keep that like, oh, brand new server feeling. Like when the server just goes up and everyone gets online. And I'm like, why not just do like a simulated survival event? So it was like 3 a.m. I couldn't sleep. My mind was just racing for the idea. And I got on Notepad on my phone and just like started writing up a little like ideas. And I have like an Unturned text channel on my old Discord. I just posted it there, and I'm like, what do you guys think? Here, I actually have the screenshot. And that was kind of it. It just went from there. I took the community's advice, and then
that's where it started.
The entire time I was in Colombia, like the 2 weeks I was there, we were literally planning it, organizing it, getting people to pay. And then the second I got back, we hosted the first Russia event.
That's actually really interesting. So it was all just like your brainchild, and it was like, I want to do this. That sounds like fun. And it was all on vacation too, I assume, right?
Yeah, I mean, the planning was on vacation. I mean, it was a good trip. There was a lot of downtime, though, where we just wouldn't be doing anything, just chilling at the house. So I literally was on my phone the entire time, organizing this. And it was a really ambitious first event. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know what I was doing. I had at the time, I think I had around 600 people in my Discord. So I was thinking I'm not even going to get enough players through my own Discord. Luckily, the guy Gloxinia that you mentioned had heard about it, and he shouted out to his Discord. And just like all of a sudden, there was like 400 people like joining my Discord wanting to play in this event. But it was funny because it was a $20 entry fee per person, so $100 team entry fees, which now in hindsight, since I've been doing these for a while, is way too much money to ask for people. But we got it. We were able to get the goal was 6 teams of 5. We were able to get 5 teams, I believe. We were able to get 5 paid teams, and I made up the rest of the prize pool, and we were able to get a $1,000 prize pool for the first event.
That's a crazy number. When I first saw it, I was like, what the hell? That was a crazy number, because when I was first hearing about it, it was in like PvP Discord servers, and these like guys were telling me about it. I'm like, wait, what? Who's doing this? Like, what? And it was happening at the moment. So I was looking, I was like, wait, this guy is actually doing this? That's crazy. And that's how I actually was first introduced to you. Yeah.
For sure.
It was the PvP community just like telling and saying that this is actually happening. This is a real thing. Because I think potentially maybe there was a bit of a feeling that this was going to be another like kind of weird event. In the past, with other people that have done events like this, there has been a lot of problems with money and prize pools. You can probably imagine due to the kind of smallness of this game. But like it was cool to see that the actual community saw that there was actual like, security in the fact that you weren't trying to, screw over people trying to, win actual, money and put their money up to actually play in these events. So I'm very thankful for that.
If you guys know the guy Massey, he was on the Team Sauropods for the first event, and everyone's like trying to register, and they're PayPaling me, Venmoing me, Cash Apping me, and I just get a message from Massey, who he's cool, but I don't know who he is at the moment. He's like, "How do I know this is not a scam?" And I literally replied to him. I said, "Honestly, you don't. Like, I have nothing to prove that this isn't a scam other than like I stream on Twitch and I have a community and I'm trying to do an event." And, luckily he trusted that, and we were able to run it.
I mean, I think I won't name who, but another member of the Sauropods from back when they played in other events, and also has been kind of screwed over by event organizers in the past as well. So it's kind of funny that they really didn't trust you in this kind of endeavor, because there is a lot of bad blood between event organizers and money, and believing that it's gonna happen, or believing that this was a real event. Like, I know that from a lot of these people. Like, even after the event, I talked to one of the people who were involved, and they're like, I wasn't even sure what was going to come out of it, but luckily at the end, everything was secured. So it was really nice to hear that from the actual participants, because at the end of the day, I was just a spectator, and I just know from like past experiences about that. So it was cool to see that this is an actual real event.
Thank you. Yeah, I remember people who had played in a event, I'll just leave it at that, said that they didn't get paid for close to 2 months or something ridiculous. I remember the first event was a Saturday, Sunday. I paid everyone that Sunday, and if we had issues, I paid them. I had to get one guy a gift card, which took a while, but I had all the money sitting in PayPal, so if they had PayPal, it just got sent back to them.
Yeah, it's cool that there's people that actually can now go to an actual event, because I'm gonna be real with you, Wesley. For the longest time, I feel like a lot of the general community, when it comes to Unturned, treats the PvP scene as really really beneath everything. And you know what? To a certain degree, I understand, due to the culture that exists around the PvP scene. I know you've experienced it. Your entire server is full of it.
Mm-hmm.
And but I mean, it's still really interesting, because it's like the peak and pinnacle of the gaming of Unturned, and seeing that through your streams and seeing that through the stuff there is really cool as well. So I really appreciate that when it comes to your stream, because you stream for a long time during these events. Like, you go on for like almost days, right? Am I right?
The longest one I did was my Duo Buok Arena event. I was actually awake for 27 hours, actually commentating and shoutcasting for 14 hours. Yeah.
And you're doing this mostly alone, right?
Yeah, I mean, I have some good people in the Discord community, like my co-hosts and other people who assist me and kind of get things organized. But I mean, I don't want to disrespect anyone who's helped me. Any help is appreciated, but out of 100% of the work, I do a solid 90.
That's understandable. I mean, I can say that about a certain piece of media that I work on. But I mean, yeah, that's really admirable. That's a lot of work to put into this, and I feel like, I mean, at the end of the day, I think we're losing. You're losing in this scenario for the most part. You're putting so much time and effort into these events, because what is the actual reason? I don't want to assume. What is the reason for you to continue with these events? Because I know that they're very taxing.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I've been like, it's just fun, because for the whole whatever, like 7 years I've been streaming on Twitch, and like for the periods of times where I'm away from it for a month, 2 months, a year, I think was the longest where I just didn't stream, it's always in the back of my mind. And you meet really cool people. There's people that I met 6 years ago, 7 years ago, when they first came into my Twitch community, and they're still like close friends of mine, and we still play games together. And just not being able to stream and being busy, that just sucked, because I wanted to still have that be a part of my life. And lately I've been really busy, so organizing the events and kind of just streaming once a week, every other week, to stream the actual events has kind of been that little sweet spot for me, where I can still be a part of my own community, and I have all my other stuff going on too.
I see. So there's a lot of passion, I feel, that you have for this. For not just Unturned, but streaming in general.
Definitely. I mean, I would say more passion for Unturned really than anything else. Like, streaming has just always been for fun. I literally started streaming because if like a sick clip happened in Unturned, I wanted to be able to clip it. And then like people just ended up starting to watch and wanting to play, and then it just kind of spiraled. But it's just mainly with Unturned. I mean, this was the first game I ever played on PC, and it's just the nostalgia factor. I mean, it's my favorite game. Unfortunately, I always say it my favorite game.
Unfortunately?
Unfortunately,
Why
Yeah.
unfortunately? I want to know because I feel like there's a lot of self-hating when it comes to being an Unturned player.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
even
I feel
think
like a
I
lot of
need
people
to
get that.
say like, yeah, if you have hours on Unturned, you understand what I'm referring to. It's just can be a very toxic game, a very toxic community. But then when it's not, and people come together and people are just having
Exactly.
fun, that's what's worth
Yeah.
it because it's there's just two such extreme ends of the game, and I'm
Yeah.
just trying to keep my community towards the better side, or if not in the middle, you
Yeah.
know.
I
That's
think
definitely something
Yeah.
I definitely stand by. Like the best thing about this game is the community, and also the worst thing about this game is the community.
100%,
like
yes.
I would
Yeah.
like I can say to someone like, yeah, I'm an Unturned player, but I would not show them like what another Unturned player is.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it really is I don't know. It's kind of like a weird kind of I don't know what to call it because I feel like this has always been a thing that's been around. It's like it has always been the worst and best part of this game has been the community. I remember when I hear that statement, I think about Zoom B when he was talking about how playing Unturned and making content for Unturned felt like quicksand, and you just fall deeper and deeper into it. And he brought up the fact as well that he's like has that same problem. So I feel like, yeah, when it comes to being an Unturned player, I feel like you're on the money with it, but I'm not sure if that's the full reason. I don't know. I've tried figuring out because there is like that exact same ideology between like a whole list of players that exist in Unturned from different time periods that I know of, and it's just you have to like I'm trying to figure out how to pin it down to like one specific thing. It's very hard. This game is very very convoluted.
I just try to simplify it as it's just fun, you know. I mean, that's why we play video games at the end of the day.
Yeah, that's real. That's real. Well, I think something else that I wanted to mention to you, Wesley, is, man, how many events have you actually done now?
I have.
Yeah, no, it feels like I looked away.
Oh, is
I
that the
looked away
man?
and like there's
Trident
like
games.
20.
He's awake.
Look who woke
You
up.
overslept, bro.
Oh. Look who woke up.
Let me see.
Like,
So
20 minutes.
Bro, just go back to bed.
Where is
Just
he?
go back
Where
to
is he
bed.
now?
What?
What are those sounds I'm hearing? Huh?
I think he's on his phone.
Yeah, but I heard like a Nokia 3310 ringtone. What was that? Hello, Trident.
Hello.
This is the continuation of the bit of Trident not being in a tangible place ever.
Yeah, he's never gonna
He's
be
either not
like,
here
SBC.
or he's not like just in a normal setup. He's always somewhere, dude.
Welcome to the Unturned podcast, WeslieG.
Thank you. Welcome as well, Trident.
Now the real podcast.
Bro gets welcomed by the guest because he's late.
No. Okay, but back to the general question that we were going on about. How many events have you actually done now?
I literally said you a screenshot because it's kind of funny. This is just a notepad I keep on my PC. It looks like we've done about 20, a little less than 20.
Oh, wow.
Oh yeah.
That is a lot.
And I put the date and I say if it was shit or if it was fun. Yeah, I'm trying to. I'm looking at the list, but that does look like all of it. Yeah, I think that's everything.
Mhm.
So
How much do you think
maybe, like-
collectively? How much
Mhm.
collectively do you think people have won in those tournaments?
Money wise,
Yeah.
I recently added it up. According to that list, I think I added it up after the. Let's see. I think I added it after number 14-ish, that around that time. I'm getting my numbers conflicted. I know I've invested at least $1,000 just to pay back winners. I think the actual total amount of that people have won is probably more than that. I know in the Rush event alone, that was $1,000. And then like the Trio Elver one, that one was 250. So I would say probably 1,500, maybe a little bit more. Total prize money has been given out.
That's a bit. That's a lot for Unturned.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for real.
Mhm.
I don't even know. I don't really know what to say to that. I don't. Well,
It's
okay.
dedication.
Something interesting
Yeah.
that's happened when it comes to your events, is the progression of your like kind of how to run an event. And could you explain a little bit more about what you've learned from running these events? Because I know that from the beginning there was a lot of things that you wanted to sort out, try to figure out for yourself, and now I feel like you're more in a position to give that answer when it comes to doing events like this.
Absolutely, because to start, like the first, you could see when you look at that screenshot I sent in parentheses, some of them say shit because mainly 99% of that was on me and the planning and the way I structured the event and how lost my train of thought. The way, like, for example, I'm gonna do an example. The second event I ever did. The first event, the Russia event, was really ambitious. We already talked about that. For how ambitious it was, it went amazing. I was really pleased with that. And then the second event I ever did was a trilogy trio event, and there was like 89 people signed up, and I was like, I want everyone to be able to play. So I allowed EU players, I allowed NA players, and I was like, all right, we're going to start the server on EU times. This server is going to be up 24/7, and then we're just going to switch the region to North America, so the ping balances out. And I don't know why I thought that was a good idea. Obviously, the European players had a huge head start than the North American players. None of the North American players even ended up showing up. They were like, screw this, we're not playing. And the whole event had to end early. And there's just other events where not allowing subs. So like for the bigger events where we do like teams of 10, you have to have at least, like, what I do, if it's a team of 10, I have 5 optional sub players. So then we can try to have every team has at least 10 players online the whole time so that the server doesn't die down. And just like little things you gradually learn along the way, and taking community advice and just trying to make everyone happy, which isn't possible, but just doing your best.
I see. Is there anything you would do differently from the first event to now? Like, what major thing would you change?
Specifically the first event, or just in general?
I guess. Well, yeah, I would say the first event because I actually watched like the whole thing. And I feel like a lot of people were introduced to you from the first event, and people are more so like looking at you now. But going back to that first event, what would you change heavily?
I would definitely do what I've been doing now, optional paid entry, which has been really fun. Basically, anyone can join. It's free entry, or you can pay to join. Your team can pay to join, and if you do, you will participate against the other paid teams in that prize pool. Everyone's versing each other, but the paid teams are in their own tier of finishing. So the top finishing paid team, even if they finished 5th, they will get the paid prize. And I definitely would have done that for the
That's cool. Yeah.
That's
so
a
then,
cool
like,
idea, yeah.
it's a lot of people to join.
Yeah, that's actually very Yeah, I didn't even think about that. That's actually really nice. I didn't even know that was a thing that you were doing.
You kinda cater to both people who just want to
Mhm.
play in a tournament just for like the sake of the fun playing in a
Mhm.
tournament, and also the people who like actually want to win something. Play
Exactly,
play
yeah.
more competitively.
Because that's the hard part. When with the prizes is the hardest part of the events, because people have to have a reason to want to play. Obviously, they're pretty fun, and what's nice is a lot of people in the community will literally just show up to have fun. And so with a prize pool, a lot of the times it's community funded, but most of the time I have to put up a lot of my own money for it, and that's just not that's not going to last. Like, I can't continue to do these if I'm losing so much money.
Yeah.
So the other rewards, like skins or whatever, or like I give out free entry vouchers, which is again just my money, but that way someone can then pay or join for free with that free entry voucher into a future event and have a chance to win prize money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
About the prize, the prize stuff. How? Wait, hold on.
Oh my god.
So
Bruh.
No
how
way.
Well, okay,
Oh,
don't
guys,
interrupt me.
hungry.
I'm trying to here. Okay, I'm sorry, Wesley. Cheese.
They're good.
Being a little immature, but how would you go about asking Nelson to add custom skins into the game? Because I imagine that's not a super easy thing to do.
Yeah, that was.
No way.
Yo, what chips are you eating? I gotta know.
Cheese it snapped.
This
Ooh,
guy.
Cheddar and
wow.
sour cream and onion.
That is elite. Okay, that's great. Good for you. For Nelson, so someone messaged me. It was actually one of the Sauropod guys. Just messaged me the idea of it, and I'm like, wouldn't that be nice? But like, probably not gonna happen. And so he sent me a link of. I don't even remember the link. I think it's like the SDG website where you can like email for support or something. And so I just wrote up a big email. Not even that big, like 2 3 paragraphs kind of explaining the events. At that point, if you look at that list, this was the first one he sponsored was the solo Yukon event. So I really didn't have much to show him. I know I sent the link to my first ever event. I sent that YouTube link, and I just kind of explained what I was going for, what I was doing, the money that's been invested, and how money is not the best prize pool, and it's kind of hard to do, especially with so many people just not even being able to pay entry. And he replied and kind of just said he was down and super supportive, and which was just amazing because he was down to sponsor some skins for the solo Yukon event, and then he took it even further and was like, let's put you on the front page of Unturned. And I'm like, what the? And so we get on the front page of Unturned, and it was crazy. In like 16 hours, we were on the front page because we needed more people to join the event. There was over, I think 1,800 people joined the Discord. And from that point on, it's just kind of been a domino effect. We've been he's sponsored 2 different events with skins and has posted it twice. And the second time he posted it, he helped us get to like 3,300 members, which we're still currently hovering at. And him and Tyler, we have email threads of 50 plus emails. They've just been supportive, helpful. We run ideas by each other. The whole team has just been way more supportive than I ever thought. And I think they're just, I don't know, they see me supporting their game. Why not support me kind of thing? So it's, give and take kind of thing.
That's very cool of them.
It's kind of
That is very
Yeah.
that is
Yeah.
really nice. We do need more community events like this because I felt like it's been, quite lacking.
Hmm.
I would say the last events I can recall that I would say that were pretty major where it was either Unturned Showdown, which was basically it was 7 days, prepare base, and then there's just at the very end, last day they're gonna both teams are gonna try to raid each other's base.
Mm.
They did that for Kuwait. They didn't do that for Arid. Apart from that, and from what you're doing, I don't think there was anything super major going on. So that's good that you're taking up that crucial role in the community.
Appreciate it. And I've gotten messages recently from community members of just like, hey, can we like get in a VC and talk about events? I want to host my own event. And I'm like, sure. I mean, we can do that. I don't think either of those actually ended up happening. I did message a guy like a bunch of information, but I never got in those VCs. But if people want to run their own events, go for it. I mean, it's a lot of work if you want to try to do it the right way. But the more people doing it, the more people in the community that can potentially enjoy them.
I remember first seeing some like your videos. I think you invited me to what was like your very first major event.
The Russia one. I think
The
you
Russia one, yeah. I
were.
bounced. Or I was
Yeah.
busy.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Because I was just messaging every possible YouTuber I could find to try to get on the Russia event.
Yeah. I find I just don't like tryhards.
Yeah.
And I've done only one event, and that was like Z-Man's event where it's battle royale but with rifles and jetpacks.
Damn.
And I maybe probably placed like 80th.
Yeah.
80 out of 82. Nice.
Yes, exactly. So I'm still on top, baby.
There you go.
Still on top 80.
In the top 80, yeah.
Top 80. All right. Any other questions from any other wonderful members?
I was just waiting for you to finish. Actually, Wesley, I remember when the first time that Nelson put the Discord link on the main page. I remember just looking at your server and I'm just seeing members just fly in like every second with someone new, and I'm like, holy moly! There were so many new people that I saw on that server. It was just like it was a whole event to watch how many people are actually coming to the server. Because, I mean, I know we all think about like Unturned being kind of small, but like it has this weird kind of like place. Like there's a lot of people that know about Unturned and that open the game, right? But we don't see a lot of those players interact with many of the multiplayer scene or anything really major.
Yeah.
And it's very odd to see like thousands of players or like just like a bunch of people flock to something. And it was very cool to see that happen when it comes to your event.
Yeah. I think what I personally see it as is I see Unturned community members and I see Unturned players as completely separate things.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a lot of people that just play single player and don't talk to anybody.
Oh, it's a huge amount.
There's definitely
statistics show that like half the people playing Unturned play it mostly single player.
Not even
That's
half.
crazy.
It's
I mean,
more than half actually, I think.
no, it's like 25% do multiplayer.
It was like 30 on the poll.
Whoa.
That's why I know
No,
the Twitter
I
poll
thought-
doesn't matter,
I
but
thought
like,
it was-
it was
I thought it
30%
was-
there.
I mean,
Like
yeah,
35%, I think.
No, but like according to actual like stuff between
Didn't
all the
like
online
Nelson say that?
charts. I don't know
I mean-
who said that.
Did he?
I mean, Unturned with statistics is really weird. I mean, 50% according to Steam haven't even gotten in a vehicle. Even less have played PEI. So
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
it's
So I'm pretty sure it's like
it's
10,000
difficult to get good
online.
statistics
Yeah,
for
people,
Unturned.
people play the tutorial and they're like, nah, this is too hard for me.
Literally.
Dude, there's even less people who
Here,
play the
I'm
tutorial.
gonna go heat up my spaghetti.
This guy. This
This
guy.
guy.
Just why you show up at the episode, bro? Just go eat, bro. I don't even know. No, but I think actually I think in 2018 there was a glitch you could do with achievement numbers, right? Because it would give you the exact percentage of how many people were in it. So I think somebody calculated that, some like journalists, and Unturned had like 44 million downloads, which was it was the fourth or fifth largest downloaded game in all of Steam.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Which is it's just a fucking huge number, but that was just based on achievement numbers. So that's just opening the game. So if somebody did the tutorial, I think it was based on tutorial.
Yeah.
But if someone opened the tutorial, that existed, you know, or whatever achievement,
I don't
whatever
think
first
that-
achievement existed. I don't even know what achievement they did. Actually, I don't remember.
I don't think that tutorial would be like 40
Probably
million or
PEI.
that
They
would
did.
be
I forget what achievement it was. It was
Yeah.
like an old report, but it was like 44 million that I saw had done
That's
that
ridiculous.
achievement. So yeah,
because
I
from
mean,
what
it's a free game. It's like free Minecraft. You know, everyone wants to try it.
free Minecraft.
everyone
Loves-
loves free Minecraft.
People in game chat like, do you just punch trees? I'm like, yes, go for it.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolute. Dude, how has there not been a
Not gonna
map where
lie.
you can punch trees yet?
Yeah, not gonna lie, but like punching a tree was probably one of the first things I did in this game.
Oh, everyone.
I think that everyone did.
Yeah, I think so. I think everyone did that canon event.
I crashed the rarest vehicle.
What?
In 2.0, the rarest vehicle was an AP6.
What is?
My God.
Where is bro?
Where
These are
is
like
he,
the
dude?
bathroom. It's not like a toilet
You know
flush.
where? On the Unturned podcast.
This guy, bro. Like why?
Oh, come on. I'm describing my story. I was a noob at like Unturned 2.0. And I found the APC, but I didn't know how rare it was. It was like at 8% health. I didn't know how to
What is
drive.
Bruce saying?
He
So
found an
then I
APC
crashed
at
it,
8%
and I
health.
lost
That's what I got
everything.
from it.
And then now 10 years later, here we are.
Yeah.
What? What?
Why is there a
Microwave.
microwave?
Live microwave reaction.
Bro, what is bro doing? What are you doing? What are you doing?
I like I said previously, I'm heating up some pasta for lunch from last night.
Bro.
This is
I
horrible.
made the most delicious meatballs and pasta. I couldn't finish it
I
all.
just had some spaghetti yesterday, so it was good.
It's good. Okay, questions. Off the top of my head. Wait, did they ask you like how you first got started on Unturned?
Yes.
Yeah.
You missed like 18 minutes.
When do you? Okay, wait. Do you plan on? What is your plan for the future when it comes to Unturned? Will you continue playing or?
So
I was asking these ChatGPT questions.
Dude, for real.
No.
that was a good question. Honestly, that's what's kind of hard right now. So I go to community college and I play basketball there, and
Are you good?
I
Are you
might.
good
I don't
at
know. I mean, I made the team, so.
But how tall are you? Are you like 4'1" or?
how tall do you think?
You sound like you have you know the Da Vinci haircut, and you're like 6'5".
I'm 6'6". You almost nailed it.
What?
Okay.
What?
Okay,
I'm
I watched that clip of you playing basketball because you posted
You
to
see that?
you posted to your Discord server. You did not look that. Well, it was the angle probably, but you did not look that tall. The fuck?
I'm 6'2", but I'd constantly be asking you, how's the weather up there?
Oh, dude, that's
Bro,
my
I'm
favorite one to
5'11".
Still taller than me.
How's the weather down there?
I for work I'm a waiter, so literally a solid 50% of all the tables I interact with will say you're tall, or just ask how tall are you, and it's harmless, it's fun.
I see.
What about the waiter industry? How much, like, do you get paid like what, like $1 and a few cockroaches, or do you get paid
Kind of both at the same time. So we get
Really?
paid like minimum wage hourly, but I will, like, no matter what, I go home a minimum with $100 cash tips every day. So
Do you think that? Do you think
good
that
money.
because of your height, you intimidate people into giving you more tips?
Nah, I'm friendly. I don't know. I think I've always been pretty lucky when it comes to my tips. Like in comparison to other servers, I am definitely on the higher end of tips. I guess I'm just a good server.
Good like
I don't
that.
know.
So wait, do you make federal minimum wage or regular minimum wage?
Why are you so interested in this?
Bro's gonna get called the IRS, bro. Bro's be
let me
like,
grab
this
my
WeslieG
phone.
guy. I'm
right.
pretty sure he's avoiding taxes.
Early for a little bit because I don't like his voice.
I make 15 and a half an hour, which I guess is
Okay.
minimum wage in California. I thought it was
Okay,
more,
that's
but
good. Because sometimes servers will get paid like $7.25 because
oh yeah.
I'm loud, and I'm just like, "Fuck you."
Wesley just left.
But on you, Charlie. No, but that's good. So that's a crucial question because I imagine your source of income
Crucial question.
the Unturned events, because you said a lot of it comes from your own pocket.
Yeah, I've made negative $1,000 from Unturned events.
What about so like even from like the streaming like an advertisement and whatnot? That really isn't that much.
Well, in the entire span that I've streamed, I've definitely made some money. Like some random people have come in and donated like $700, which was just crazy.
That's really
Yeah, just like kind of just like basic Twitch things like subs. Like I used to be not big on Twitch, but I used to be bigger. Like in the Fortnite days, I was a little Fortnite kid. I would have like 80 something subs on Twitch. I used to have a good couple months on Minecraft. I had like 80 something subs. So I've made like enough money that like kind of bought back my PC basically. So totally, I mean, if you make content and you know, unless you're that 1%, you don't do it for the money because it's just not there. But it's cool that it's been able to at least like kind of break even, you know.
Yeah, no, that's good. I mean, luckily I'm not in that 1%, but yeah.
Microwave.
You get that microwave. Guess where that came from? YouTube. Crazy. Okay, so
You bought your microwave with YouTube money.
damn it. Finish, man. Okay. You seem to have a lot of wealthy benefactors backing you when it comes to this.
What?
endeavor.
What's ChatGPT looking at?
This is a ChatGPT question.
Dude,
Okay,
there's been like
fine,
one
fine,
guy
fine,
that donated
fine.
$100. That's it.
Let me dumb it down. This is okay. You have people giving you money for this stuff.
There was one
Like,
person.
did you expect that? Did you expect people to be giving you money like these humongous donations? Wesley.
No, I did not expect it. It was not in my calendar. No.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
See my cat.
Yes.
This guy.
His cat.
Dude!
Dude.
Cat reveal.
This will not
That's
be on
lost
the
his mind.
episode.
He's out of it.
This would not be on the episode. No one will ever know what is happening right now.
I don't have pants, so this is difficult.
What the hell?
What?
What the hell?
Okay, it's done.
Alright, I guess back to the more questions. How do you feel about the community as a whole right now, Wesley? Not just yours, the more general Unturned community.
Ooh.
I see. Okay, that's very insightful.
Yeah. That's about how I feel about it.
Yeah.
Wesley,
Yeah, we're here.
did you hear the question?
No, sorry, I had to pee. What was the question?
Oh, God, bro. Okay.
Do you have like a bottle
How
on
do you
your
feel
desk?
about the general
Oh.
Unturned community?
I think it's a really special community. It's like
It's a very safe answer.
It's like
I do as well, but I think for a different reason.
That's funny.
It's cool because of how spread out the community is. Like when I started doing these events and people started joining, I had no clue that it was such a global game and that there was so many like teams and like try-hard clans. Like I literally had no clue. And I just think that, you know, it's a big game on Steam. It's a free game on Steam. I think everyone should give it a try. I mean, if you like Minecraft, if you like
I was about to say
zombies,
DC.
I don't
I
know.
was about to say Rust, but I was about to say like every other surrounding.
Yeah,
That's, like,
no,
so
literally.
sussy. Yeah.
It's a good community. Like we said earlier, it's the pros and cons, but I think it's a good special community.
How do you feel about the kind of culture that's developed around you when it comes to doing these events?
Damn, I've developed culture.
Yeah, to a certain degree, because you've kind of made people come back and play in these groups. Like, sauropods existed for quite a while as a subgroup of both Saints and Fear. I believe you know that. But
Yeah.
it realistically had never really seen the full potential of what they were able to do as a group. Like, people have speculated how good these players were for a very long time. But it hasn't actually been a place to test their merit, you know? And
No, literally.
seeing the domination of one group on almost every event that they were participating in was good enough information to tell that, yeah, these guys are really good at the game. Like, that's what I'm talking about. Like, you've kind of proved a lot of people when it comes to the theory crafting of who was the best player in the game, who was doing this and that, who was doing, you know, I don't know, some crazy stuff when it comes to their building, you know, base designs. Because also those are interesting too. And just general vanilla survival. But I think, yeah, you kind of open a lot of people's eyes when it comes to that there's being good players. I mean, like, the first event you did, people were calling the good players cheating. And it was kind of funny, because when I was spectating, I knew who they were. Like, I knew half of them, because I played either Freezer EU with them, or I've just known them from, like, very long time ago. So it's really funny when people talk smack to these players, and they're like, no, they've been around for a very long time. And I remember when they were not good whatsoever. Like, I remember when they would get stomped on by, like, Jimmy123, who put on green for the first time, you know? And and it's really funny seeing how good that a lot of players have become now. And yeah, there really has been, like, kind of a culture that developed around your tournaments, because they're kind of the only real way to test people's merit for actual prizes.
Yeah, appreciate that. No, definitely, because everyone was like, we're the best clan, I'm the best player, and I'm like literally prove it. There's no documentation, there's no evidence anywhere saying you're better than me, you're better than anyone else. Like, let's run some events, get first place, and then you can talk. And when it comes to the sauropods, I was actually talking to Salty Waffles yesterday. He said that how, you know, people were coming back to the game for it, that the sauropod clan literally was not playing Unturned at the moment my event went up, the Russia event. They all came back to play in that event, if you've watched the YouTube video, it was a 2-day long event. They dominated so hard that we had to give them the first place prize after day 1, so they just wouldn't play day 2 because no one else could get loot. Like, that's how crazy good they were. And, you know, they came back for that, and some of them have participated in some since, and I think the other ones just kind of quit again.
Yeah, they're an interesting bunch of people. I mean, they're like Fear from back in the day was just like basically them, but you know, it's a whole ballpark. You know what needs to be done? I was actually gonna run this by you. Now is a good time to actually bring this up, but I know you've documented a lot of the player stats for almost every event. Do you have every single player stat still from every event?
So roughly, yes. Hold on, let me check this. So there is a spreadsheet. Yeah, cool, we do. It's a little outdated. I have to catch it up on a couple recent events. I'll send you guys a link right now. It has all the events, all...
Bro is done. Bro is collapsed. Bro is collapsed.
Oh my god.
Bro is done. It's over.
Pretty sure my I'm just having my whole PC turned off.
That's shit.
That's a good.
That's bad.
And I don't know how bad the quality is, but
It's not that bad.
No,
It's-
I'm gonna.
that's fine.
That's annoying. Okay, I'm gonna try to like fix that as we're talking. Give me a sec.
So you have
If you ever-
almost
If
every
you ever
player.
worry that your like quality is bad, just remember that Trident is currently in the core.
Yeah.
Yeah. Come on.
Okay, to get back to what I was saying is that you have like a bunch of player stats from your events, correct?
Yeah, the link I was trying to send, it has all player stats from every past event,
think-
so people can really look if they want.
I guess this is a testament to how much data Wesley has. Literally opening the spreadsheet crashed his PC. So that's how much data that Wesley actually has.
Honestly, that's facts. It sounded like something got unplugged, though. That's the weird thing. I'm literally under my desk right now. But yeah, let me figure
But
this
I
out.
was thinking, I was running this idea by Dot not too long ago of making an actual, like, I don't know if you know, I know Diddley knows, but you know how like when it comes to tournaments and running events, usually there is a actual like kind of actual ranking of each player based on how their
Yeah.
ability is
Yeah.
within the video game, and there's like a whole like top 100 basically, and people have called this, I think, either the PGR rankings or they've just called it like, you know, full stat global rankings. It's a whole ordeal, right? Have you thought about potentially putting all of this data points into a large set over maybe at the end of the year to see who the top player was of that year?
Dude, I have not. That's a fantastic idea. Because there's like, you know, I'll throw out a name, the _Grev. He's definitely, first of all, participated in the most events, but definitely has won the most events. He's won like 2 different solo events. He's won like 3 different team events. If I had to make a ranking, I would definitely put him number 1 global, at least in the Unturned events community. I think that's a great idea because, you know, we could kind of go through the stats. I have stats. My PC's loading up right now. I have stats that I'll show you guys for everyone, and we could like, you know, add up their total kills, add up their total deaths, like give additional points for like if they won the event, how they placed, and then, you know, come out with an actual ranking. That'd be pretty cool.
I think it would make a lot of people really think about wanting to play it more, because I think the competitive spirit that exists within people and seeing them stack up against other players really pushes people to their limits. I mean, I think one game that I think of immediately is just specifically Super Smash Bros. Melee, and they've had rankings since, I believe, 2007, I think, or 13.
Yeah, they've had really big rankings.
For over years, and
Yeah.
I think, in my opinion, those rankings really did influence a lot of the players into thinking like, you know, I can go to a higher rank and I can always do better than the next guy. So I think doing something like that in the rankings of players will motivate more people to actually not only play in events but get better at the game, and that'd be interesting to see. Also, be interesting to see who is the top player, because I mean, over the years and the time that I've played PvP servers, and I believe you can agree as well, like everyone in this call, we've always heard people say that this is the best player, this is the best player. Like top players will talk about who's the best player. But there's nothing definitive. There's nothing really definitive. So at least when it comes to
absolutely.
events, something that's definitive. Maybe there could be something, because I know, like, in my opinion, I think just playing events shouldn't be that very influential on a player's ranking. But it's just dependent on what way you do it. It's a lot of like, I mean, I haven't looked into it how you would do something like that, but it would be so difficult. Like I'm like, either you're gonna do it by percentage of how many shots they've hit, or how many headshots they've gotten, body shots, kills, wins in general. It's a whole slew of different things. And also we gotta think about subcategories, because your events are not just survival events. They're either solo, duo, team groups. There's so many variations when it comes to playing, because in my opinion, you can play with, like, one player could like completely change a whole group when it comes to the way that they work.
Absolutely.
And also one player can really hold down a whole group as well. So it's the group, when it comes to the survival games in general, like, it's very volatile. I look at Rust sometimes when it comes to their groups. I look at Oil Team. Like, Oil Team is their sauropods, and it's crazy how each player really is effective at what they do. And they're not just, specifically going into one specific style like a lot of the groups do. Like, they do a lot of things differently. Each player does a lot of things differently when it comes to what they're able to do, and it's very cool to see. Like, I think comparisons between games are always kind of sus, but I guess when it comes to certain aspects, when it comes to the ideology of people and the way that people play, it kind of carries over between games. So I always look at that when it comes to either content creators, just general players, and that's what I look at for the most part.
I think that's a really good point, and totally, I'm like literally thinking of ways that we could come out with like global rankings like that, or like maybe best PvPers and best survivalists, because those are definitely, I think, the two biggest aspects of the game, which is why I try to we have some events that are just solely PvP, like the not even the arena events, because you have to survive like zombies and stuff, but like the knockout event, the map jam map knockout, if you guys are familiar with it.
I played that.
We had an event literally just knockout, so you're just jumping around PvPing. Like, that's our total PvP event, so that would go towards like PvP rankings. But like the Russia event, or really the big base team events, those ones are going to be PvP and survivalists and like basing and different categories.
I need to join you for commentation, because I think commentating would be so fun on like a survival scene. Like, I think you could tell that.
Dude, can we get?
I could talk.
Can we get a tournament where the whole Unturned podcast commentates?
Dude,
I'm down to like sit there for like, I don't know.
That'd be fun.
couple
Yeah.
hours.
I want to. Can we get Knight Rider also? Knight Rider.
Knight Rider's complaining.
Rider's,
Knight Rider's, I'm 100%. I can already hear the complaining. He's gonna be like, all right, we're gonna see this player. He's sitting behind a tree. He's waiting in third person, waiting for that guy to peek. Oh, he's peeked and he's dead. Oh, you see how easy this is? Third person is so bad. Third person, that's literally gonna be him the whole entire time.
You should have done first person. I just don't get it.
Exactly.
Okay,
He's gonna be complaining about the whole entire scene, like the whole time.
Wait. Okay. So WeslieG, what about so cheating, like cheaters? Have you encountered any in any of your events? And what's like your plan to deal with them?
So, first of all, every event we've ever done has been first person only, and I'm proud to say that. You all know the feeling of just getting third person behind a tree. It is not fun.
Yeah.
Listen.
So,
I actually have. You know what? I want to say something to Trident guys. I'm sorry, Wesley, to cut you off, but there was a clip where I'm pushing Trident in an open corridor, and he misses every shot, and I turn around and kill him with a fusillade. And he had a zoom.
Okay, here, wait, WeslieG, I'm gonna pause you on that. Pause you on that. You see, if I hit bow. Oh wow, do you hear that? That's 3 shots. Bow. Oh, that's like 5 shots. You're a smart guy, right, Charlie? You can do that.
That was 7
How much damage do you think 5 shots do compared to 3 shots?
I think you did 1 damage.
I imagine like,
and
what,
I was
66% more.
For more context too, Wesley, it was on Bunker Arena. It was an open corridor. I'm running down the corridor. He's at the door of the corridor. I run past him. He doesn't shoot me a single time, and I turn around and kill him. Like, and I'm in running animation. He's in walking animation, so he's able to shoot me. It's not like he had like a disadvantage there. He had the full advantage.
Okay, no, but
knows to spare you, and
the
you're
thing
complaining.
about burst weapons is they have a bit of a
Oh my
cooldown when
god.
it comes to
It doesn't matter when you
We're
had
doing that
primal
first.
advantage.
No. What do you mean primal?
Because
okay, primal
I was in
advantage-
running animation,
I
so I
am-
had like 20
I'm
frames of end lag before I could even
I
shoot
had
you.
20 frames of end lag.
You were
I
walking.
think this
You
game-
were walking.
Okay. Okay, whatever, Mr. Red Pill. Whatever. You took the pill, now you can see
What
everything.
does that mean?
No, okay, so no.
think he's in the
anyways, I was
Matrix.
just making fun of Charlie for running down a corridor because he wouldn't do that in real life because he's so fat.
This guy.
Okay, no. So cheating, like so.
Cheating.
There
that
have
was
been
the
no
question.
cheating reports at all, like in your events. Or
So
am I wrong?
when someone applies for an event, they fill out a Google sheet that has just their Discord and Steam account. I check every single Steam account, and most of them are super nice to see because they'll have like skins, they'll have 10 years of service,
Ooh, most.
they'll have like hundreds of hours, thousands of hours on games. Those are great accounts. Those I can almost count, to not be a cheater. And then there's other accounts, that have the rule is that they can't have a VAC ban under a year old. If I see that, immediate denial of entry. And knock on wood, from my knowledge, we've only had one person cheating during an event. I'll throw his name out, Delta, if you guys have heard of
Oh
that.
yeah.
Oh my god,
he
he pissed me off.
actually, I played on Panda Hut 4 and Delta joined, and it was punching me through walls. It was kind of funny. He joined
Yeah.
because Salty Waffles was playing, and he was talking smack to him in the Discord. But yeah,
He was like an accused cheater or whatever, but then like had a legit application to one of the events, was just being friendly or whatever. I'm like, cool, whatever. Well, he can play. And then, there was a bunch of talk of him cheating, and then in the solo Yukon event, my guy had a hawk hound and was just roaming. He had like one round where he had 7 kills or something ridiculous. He would shoot one bullet from over 100 meters and get a kill. And we later found out that he was literally cheating during that event. So I had his skin revoked that he won because he got second place. Luckily he didn't get first, he got second. But his skin got taken away, and that was a whole big thing. But that's really the only run-in we've had with cheaters. I think just the community will let me know if they know someone's a cheater. They're like, oh, this guy's a cheater, this guy's a cheater, and I look into it and I'm like, oh yeah, facts.
What about I don't know if this is a great idea, but what about having like a sort of like a little security deposit, like maybe 10-25 or something? And so like if they cheat, maybe you just take that money away. But if they
Well,
don't-
it's kind of hard to get players
definitely-
to give money though. That's the thing.
Yeah.
that's what I was saying. Yeah.
I mean, if it's a paid entry event and that person paid money to join, I can almost I can trust that they're not going to cheat, because if they get caught, obviously no refund whatsoever. Which is why I like to do paid entry as much as possible, because when people pay money, they're much more likely to show up to the event. A lot of times,
Oh yeah.
we've had people not show up to events, and when we have a set amount of players we're looking for and we don't allow additional players to go over that limit, and some people don't show up, it can definitely ruin an entire event if you just don't have enough people running around.
For sure. No, but yeah, that's interesting. I'm surprised people even try to cheat in an event like this.
Yeah.
So stupid.
Luckily, I've only run into one guy that I could tell was blatantly cheating. Hopefully, there has been more, but I trust that it's been pretty legitimate.
No, I believe that. A lot of them. Then again, it's Unturned. it's not that crazy of a game, so it's understandable. And plus, yeah, you're right. A lot of them are like really close, so they all know. They all know who's who, and like, oh yeah, that guy is definitely being suspicious.
It was just surprising to see how like intertwined all these groups are. Like literally everyone knows each other, and they'll just have giant conversations in the Discord in Russian or in some different language. And I'm like, all right, cool. Y'all are friends. Y'all know each other.
Yeah, that's how deep this the PvP kind of scene kind of goes. EU
rabbit hole.
Something interesting I was going to bring up to you is, Trina actually brought it up already, so I can't really ask it. But where do you see yourself, I guess, 1 year in the Hunter community, like from now?
Oh yeah, I didn't really answer that. Hopefully still doing events. Hopefully the community continues to grow and we can, just keep hosting fun events. I don't see any reason not to, other than the fact with college and basketball, unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to be able to do events at least on Saturdays, which is the day we always do it. We always do it on Saturdays, um, which sucks. But I think I want to keep doing these events. I could still keep doing them. Maybe they're just going to have to be on Sundays now, which I don't know. I feel like that'll work. Yeah, I do want to just keep doing them. A year from now, hopefully, still doing them. Communities continue to grow, and yeah.
I was gonna ask you this, but earlier, but I guess I should ask now. I believe you made the Unturned Events Discord server with Liam, correct?
Yes.
Is Liam still participating in making events? I haven't really. I mean, I've seen a couple that Liam's done on his own server, but not in the event server. Why is that?
Yeah, not whatsoever. Let me check. So we're gonna partner up and do a really ambitious duo Polaris event, which the goal is to have like a $2,000 prize pool, which looking back was never gonna happen. But he was like totally down. We got into VC and we were gonna do it, and we were like, should we do a separate Discord for this? Because at the time it was still running through my old Twitch Discord, and we're like, yeah, let's do it. So I made a Discord, invited him. He sent a ping to his Discord. I sent a ping to my Discord. We immediately had like 250 members in the Discord. It was great. And then I think we just ended up having to cancel that event because it was just too ambitious with the entry fee. And I think that's when he ran into his health issues as well, where he kind of had to take a break for a while. And he just he was gone for so long. He just never really I don't want to sound like I'm dissing him or anything. He couldn't help. He was in the hospital, so he never really did anything, and he just ended up, I think, leaving the community. He did recently participate in an event, which was really cool to see him there, and really happy. We were talking about that. The plan was to launch it together, not really to be a joint community, but to at least be the co-host of that Polaris event we were going to do. But he ran into his health issues and was unable to.
Yeah, no disrespect to Liam. I know you're listening, Liam.
No,
but I do want to say something. He also, Liam, I'm still waiting for the second part episode. Okay, listen. Okay, I have some beef with Liam. Okay, let me explain. I overslept for a video that Liam was gonna do. It was gonna be so good if I actually showed up in that fucking video. I'm so mad. I fucking overslept. I overslept an hour over the event. I was so mad.
Damn.
I was so mad. And he was gonna do another version of that video again. And he just had, he ran into his health issues, so I can't really blame him. But I'm gonna say this right now, Liam. You need to do that video still, and I need to be in that video because I want to say so much. It's so fun.
You gotta redeem yourself.
Yeah, I'm not gonna miss that one. I'm never gonna let myself down for missing that event. When he was doing that video with the community members that he picked, I was so sad. But I mean,
What?
I think we got through most of the questions we wanted to ask you. I'm not sure if you wanted to ask us anything, or anybody else wants to ask any questions, because we already hit the hour mark. That's usually when we kind of end it off.
For sure. I know, Diddley, you played in that one trilogy event I was talking about. Oh yeah, it was you two, and you were teamed with Megamind, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was. You guys have participated. That's pretty
And
cool.
just for context as well to the entire server, we were the biggest base that they raid, and I made that base in like 4 hours. Not even like 4 hours, like 2 hours. I made, and I think they used that. I think it was Sauropods group. I think, or no, it was Massey and someone else. They were all in like on alt accounts, which is weird. But they spent
that was the team that won.
Yeah. They spent like 12 rockets on that base, and they never used that many rockets at any other base. It was so funny.
Which where did you build?
It was the top left corner. You know how it was the Washington part of the map, and know how where the crash helicopter is. You know how there's an island near it.
It was the island on the golf course.
Yeah. That was a pretty sick raid. Yeah, that made it into the YouTube video.
That
was good.
That base was like, I made sure because I knew these guys were retired. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna make them waste as many rockets as I can. I did. I made them waste was it like 12 to like 16 rockets? I don't even know how many rockets I made them use.
Yeah, definitely double digits for sure.
Yeah, it was funny. I'm so glad I did that to them, but I was so mad because I was like, no. Still good though. It was still fun. I do want to play in more events of yours in the future. I don't know. I just don't have the time, and also I need like to go like a duo or solo event or something because I definitely could make hell for somebody if they wanted to mess with me.
You
A specific
are, of course,
person.
welcome.
There's a specific person. No, there's not really a specific person. I don't really have any beef with the PvP scene. I'm gonna be real with you. It's kind of like, I'll say this: when it comes to the PvP scene and the content creation part of Unturned, the content creation part of Unturned is more like Hollywood, and the PvP scene is more like NBA, and baseball. That's all I'm gonna say, because it's more definitive. What's good and what's bad is more definitive in that scene as opposed to creating content for the scene. That's what I'm saying.
For sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, do you have any more questions for any of us, or anyone else want to have more questions for Wesley? Okay, let me pull out ChatGPT real quick to ask.
Oh god!
All right.
Don't remind me.
That's a reference, dude.
Well, thank you again for coming on the show. It was just
Thanks
really.
for having me, man.
I'm glad that I got you on because you are in a niche and continue what you're doing because I really do respect what you're doing for the scene. Like, I think
Thank you.
it's very good to see that there's an actual trustworthy event organizer now that people can actually go to, and you're doing a good job. I'm very happy about what you've done, and I think, in the future, if you continue doing this, a lot of people are gonna have admiration, and that people already do, but more people are gonna have more admiration even outside of the scene. And I only expect good things for you, Wesley. I don't really expect you to tumble down like a spiral anytime soon if you continue what you're doing.
I really appreciate that. That just means a lot, and that's just kind of I want to just keep the I don't know the word, but just keep it genuine. Like we're all just here to have fun. We're organizing events, and that's really all it is to it. And people have responded so positively and supporting so much, and as long as they're supporting me and having a good time, I'll keep doing them.
All right.
Nice. That's so wholesome.
It's awesome, for real.
All right. Well, this concludes this episode of the Unturned Podcast. I've been your host, Kobe Charles, and goodbye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Peace.
Goodbye.
Bye, everybody. Bye.
Yeah.